Earned. It's time for the World Market Index live now. Each episode focuses on current data, figures, news happenings from around the world. It's just basically a quick scan of current news in the capital market and money market, as well as commodities. My name is Titi Oyinsan. Now, the global market had a bullish run with major stocks climbing and setting it for the best month of 2022. Yeah, let me find that device there. That keeps happening. All right, then. Okay, I think we're good. So, when it comes to the NGX, the reversed losses closed in the green. The GSECI closed in the green as well. The NSE stocks climbed, closing in the green as well. It's just a green run all the way. In South Africa, stocks climbed and set for 4% of monthly gains. Even European stocks climbed, set for the best month since November 2020, and Wall Street is set for the best month of 2022. Meanwhile, in China, stocks fall. A little bit more after this. Hello and welcome back. Now, in African equities, the Nigerian exchange for the first time in the session recorded gains with the ASI increasing by 703.11. That's 1.42% points to close at 50,320.25, representing a 1 week loss of 3.1%, a 4 week loss of 2.76%, but an overall year-to-date gain of 17.92%. A total of 254,772,588 shares in 4,905 deals, corresponding to a market value of 2,811,462,598.97 naira were traded. And comparing it with the previous NGX trading, today's data shows 24% improvement in volume, 28% decline in turnover, and a 3% decline in deals. 98 NGX listed equities participated in trading, ending with 25 gainers and 13 losers. Now, Union Bank Nigeria led the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 5.5 naira per share, followed by Multiverse Mining and Exploration at plus 9.94%. On the losing side, PZ Customs Nigeria came out last with an end-of-day price appreciation of 9.57% at 9 naira 50 kobo per share. Now, that was followed by Caverton Offshore Support Group, which came out with minus 9.09%. For South African stocks, the JSE FTSE All-Share Index moved slightly higher in the last session of the month, climbing towards levels not seen since June 9th, tracking global positive cues and as higher commodity prices lifted shares of miners. Now, on the data side, private credit in South Africa rose at the fastest pace since March of 2020 and topped the market expectations in June. Also, Eskom has awarded 2 contracts for the rollout of its battery storage project as President Ramaphosa aims to accelerate reforms in the country's main electricity supply. Meanwhile, the ruling party, ANC, is holding a policy conference as the party remains split on a step-aside rule introduced last year following the corruption scandal around former President Zuma. On a monthly basis, the index was on track to book a 4% gain this July. Now let's head over to Ghana. The GSECI inched up 0.30. That's 0.01% points to close at 2,518.86, representing a 1 week gain of 3.21%, a 4 week loss of 1.05%, and an overall year-to-date loss of 9.7%. Now, at the end of the last weekday of trading on the GSE, a total of 38,201 shares, corresponding to a market value of 2,895,237.18 Ghana cedis were traded. 12 GSE listed equities participated in trading, ending with 2 gainers and no losers. The 2 gainers were New Gold ETF at plus 1.32% and Access Bank Ghana at plus 0.79%. The current market capitalization of the Ghana Stock Exchange is presently 64.4 billion Ghana cedis. In Nairobi, the Nazi climbed 0.57. That's 0.41 percent points to close at 141.05, representing a 1 week gain of 3.28%, a 4 week gain of 13.32%, but an overall year to date loss of 15.26. A total of 13 million. 169,900 shares were traded in 47 NSE listed equities participated, and ending with 24 gainers and 16 losers. East Africa Cables led the gainers with 8.57% share price appreciation, closing at 1.14 Kenyan shillings per share, followed by Home Africa at plus 5.88%. And on the losing side, Trans-Century came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 6.67% at 1.12 Kenyan shillings per share, followed by Ever Ready East Africa at minus 3.85%. Now, the current market capitalization of the Nairobi Securities Exchange is 2.2 trillion Kenyan shillings. We're heading to Europe next. Now, the equity markets extended gains for the third session, and we're on course for the biggest monthly gains since November 2020, boosted by strong economic data, upbeat corporate updates, and hopes of a slowdown in the Fed's rate hiking pace. And across sectors, travel and leisure and consumer sectors were among the best performers, while the banking sectors climbed after the results from Banco Bilbao and Vizcaya Argentaria SA, as well as Standard Chartered PLC and BNP Paribas SA, topped expectations. Meanwhile, flash figures showed the euro area grew 0.7% on quarter in Q2, above market expectations for a 0.2% gain, as data from France, Italy, and Spain surprised on the upside, while the German economy unexpectedly stalled. Still, another report showed inflation is not peaking yet, as consumer prices in 19 block accelerated to new record of 8.9% in July. Both the DAX and the benchmark Stock 600 traded more than 0.5% higher. Now, the Shanghai Composite fell 0.89% to close at 3,253, while the Shenzhen Component lost 1.3% to 12,267 on Friday. And that was reversing gains from the earlier week, as China's top leaders pledged to achieve the best possible result for the economy, but did not announce new stimulus policies in the quarterly meeting of the Politburo held on Thursday. Chinese authorities also did not signal any change in the strict zero COVID policy, while calling on local authorities to help ease a property crisis and stating that they're responsible for delivering completed houses. China's economy expanded 2.5% year on year in the first half of 2022, making the annual target of around 5.5% increasingly hard to reach. Nearly all sectors in China declined, with notable losses from heavyweight firms such as Contemporary Amperex at minus 1.4%, BYD company at minus 1.6%, and Wulingye Yingbin at minus 4.7%, Wixi Aptech at minus 2.9%, and TCL Zhonghuan at minus 2.8%. Now, the benchmark indexes ended the week lower for their third weekly loss in 4. Interesting. Now, for the CAC 40, it traded more than 1% higher, set for the third straight session of climbs, and was touching its highest level in over 7 weeks, underpinned by upbeat earnings and economic data. Now, shares of luxury group Hermes, one of the largest companies on the index, jumped more than 9% after posting record-breaking profitability in the first semester, and quarterly results showed sales rose really sharply, driven by a rebound in China sales in June, and of course solid growth in the US and Europe. Earnings of Air France KLM beat market expectations with a return to profits in Q2, and BNP Paribas results also came better than expected on the data front. The French economy beat analyst forecasts in Q2, growing by 0.5% against estimates of 0.2%. Now, shall we cross the Atlantic and head over to the US? Now, the Dow rose over 100 points on Friday, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq outperformed by adding 1.1% and 1.5% respectively, as investors welcomed confident outlooks from technology giants while digesting another slew of economic data. Amazon skyrocketed over 10% after the e-commerce titan beat Wall Street's quarterly revenue estimates while offering strong guidance. And now Microsoft, Apple, and Google parent Alphabet have also issued upbeat outlooks, reinforcing confidence in big tech's ability to navigate a recession. Meanwhile, the Fed's preferred inflation measure, the U.S. Core Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, came slightly above expectations, just slightly, suggesting that the peak of inflation is yet to come. The Dow rose over 2% for the week, while the S&P 500 and Nasdaq are up roughly 3%. All the three major indexes were on pace for their best month of 2022. For UK stock, the FTSE 100 traded higher at above 7,360, the highest in 7 weeks, led by gains across most banks after better than expected results from lenders, NatWest and Standard Chartered. Now, meanwhile, BA owner IAG returned a profit for the first time since COVID-19 pandemic, while Aston Martin reported a bigger loss for the first half of the year, and Juniper Fund Management posted a fall in its half-yearly profit. Considering July, the FTSE 100 index is up more than 2.5%, and that's the most since December 2021. We still have more. After a break, we have commodities. Okay, now let's talk commodities at this point. The Baltic Dry Index, which measures the cost of shipping goods worldwide, fell for a fifth consecutive session to 1,895 on Friday, the lowest reading since February 17th, and pushing the monthly loss to 15.4%, the third consecutive month of decline. WTI crude futures rose more than 2% to above $98 per barrel on Friday and was set to end the week 4% higher, the most in 9 weeks, as tight supplies more than offset worries over an economic slowdown. The OPEC Plus is scheduled to meet on August 3rd, where the US is hoping for an announcement of additional supply, although analysts warned that member countries are already struggling to meet production quotas due to underinvestment in oil fields. And in copper futures, they held a near 3-week high around $3.47 per pound on Friday, and they're still on track to decline for the fourth straight month, having faced constant pressure since March from aggressive monetary tightening. And of course, worldwide, there are growing recession fears, and there's still quite a lot happening in the markets. Well, we're looking forward to another week, and we are optimistic about what's going to be happening from Monday. All right, then that's all we have time for on the World Market Index Live for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, happy trading.